The Tale of Three Teachers by Sister Mary Monica, Susan Sterling, and Mary Allenbaugh. Once upon a time, in a school not far from here, there was a student named Dr. Wynne. He was a good student, but was often labeled as misunderstood and troubled. Mrs. Allenbaugh had a reputation of being a bossy teacher. She had rules but never explained them, and when students asked questions, she didn't like to respond. Her motto was, "It's my way or the highway," and her favorite quote was, "Because I said so." Dr. Wynne was assigned to Mrs. Allenbaugh's class, and he walked in that day and told Mrs. Allenbaugh that he had forgotten his pencil. "There's rules for that, Dr. Wynne. You owe me time after class today." "But Mrs. Allenbaugh, you never explained that I needed to bring a pencil to class every day. Can I borrow one of yours?" "No, you may not," Mrs. Allenbaugh said. "Well, why not?" Dr. Wynne said. "Because I said so," Mrs. Allenbaugh screamed. "Now go to Mr. Andrews' office for not following the rules." Dr. Wynne sauntered into Mr. Andrews' office for the upteenth time that year. "What is it this time?" Mr. Andrews asked. "Mrs. A kicked me out of her class for not following the rules, but she didn't explain the rules to me at all." "Okay, well, let's try to put you in Mrs. Sterling's class. She's a much more calm teacher. Maybe you'll like her class better." Dr. Wynne walked into his new classroom feeling hopeful. "Oh, hey, didn't see you there. Sit anywhere you want, and just get out whatever," Mrs. Sterling said to Dr. Wynne. Dr. Wynne was happy not to be bossed around like in Mrs. Allenbaugh's room, but not a lot of learning was going on. There was too much freedom and no expectations in Mrs. Sterling's room. Students could get away with anything. Dr. Wynne walked up to Mrs. Sterling's desk and asked, "Would it be okay if I went and talked to Principal Andrew?" "Yeah, sure. Whatever you want to do, it's all right with me," said Mrs. Sterling. "You're here again? What happened this time, Dr. Wynne?" asked Mr. Andrew. "I just didn't feel like there was a lot of learning going on in that room, and there was no expectations for us. Is there anywhere else I could go that would have higher expectations and more consistency?" "I think I know just the place." Dr. Wynne walked into Sister Mary's room and felt more confident and secure than he had felt in the other two classrooms. "Welcome to my room, Dr. Wynne," said Sister Mary. "I have already put your name tag on your desk, and it has 2 pencils in case you forgot to bring them." "Thank you, Sister Mary," exclaimed Dr. Wynne. "I have forgotten pencils before." Sister Mary pointed out the classroom rules to Dr. Wynne and introduced him to the class. Sister Mary handed Dr. Wynne his work and showed him where to turn it in when he was finished. Dr. Wynne looked down at his paper, smiled, and began his work. And they lived happily ever after. Except for Mrs. Allenbaugh. She hated happily ever afters. And if you asked her, she'd say, "Because I said so."
Created using Powtoon.